Ladies and gentlemen, Cellan Jones. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. It's fantastic to talk to you.
Oh, I am so excited to talk to you, sir. We were just talking movies, and I was talking about some that were a little boring, and I was saying now I'm excited to talk to my friend Simon because he has some incredible films that are good for the entire family to watch, too. So before we get down to it, I got to ask a weird question. How did you sign on to back-to-back Mark Wahlberg films, Simon? Was this like a package deal? Was it a coincidence? How are we doing two films back-to-back, both starring Mark?
Well, it was a piece of luck, really. I made a film a little while ago called After the King with Mark, which we shot in the Dominican Republic, and it went kind of well. I loved working with him. He's very, very easy, very fun, and of course, particularly talented. So when this other project came up, he was a producer on The Family Plan, and he said, "Hey, have a read of the script, see what you think." And I was very excited to work with him again, and I read the script, and I just jumped on it because it's a great project, The Family Plan, coming out tomorrow. And I think, as you said, it's a family movie. I think it's something you can watch with your friends and your enemies, and it's going to bring you together.
Yeah, it's one of those premises too that sounds a little bit far-fetched. But as you know, as a filmmaker, the far-fetched nature of this story is probably what lends itself to some great comedy, some great action, and some great moments here. But describe to people The Family Plan, Apple TV Plus tomorrow, like you said, starring Mark Wahlberg. Explain a little bit of the premise, because it's not an everyday real-life story for most of us. It's a pretty unique story.
Well, it's a unique story that, in fact, happens to an everyday real-life family. Mark Wahlberg plays Dan, a sweet, lovely suburban dad, very happy with his lot. He's happy doing the school run, mowing the lawn, just getting on with his life, and his family are the same. But turns out that he has a little bit of a sketchy past, and that past catches up with him and puts his whole family into danger. So he has to pack them all into the minivan and drive like hell on a road movie from Buffalo to Las Vegas.
Oh, and as we say in the biz, shenanigans ensue. I want to ask, on a personal note, working with Mark, Simon, I've watched a documentary about him. I've studied up on Marky Mark over the years. He is an intense guy that has 9 million things going on at once. What is it like to observe him as a human being and just his process? I mean, is he taking meetings in between shoots? I mean, is he as busy as you would imagine?
He is busy. He's definitely the hardest working man in showbiz. But what I love about him is he puts things in compartments. When he's working on a single project, like the film with me, that's what he's doing. That's what he's committed to. He turns up. He's super professional. He's super prepared, and he's absolutely committed. So, I wish I had his energy and his sort of ability to juggle so many balls in the air. But when he's working on a movie, that's what he's doing.
He digs in. I mean, yeah, you can't be as successful as him, I guess, without going all in. Did you ever jump in the gym with him? I mean, I'd look at his body and go, he probably knows what he's doing in the gym. Did you start your morning out with a little Marky Mark workout at all with him?
I have been to the gym with him, but tragically, I had a slight shoulder strain, so I wasn't able to work out with him.
Good excuse, Simon. I would have done the same thing. I just pulled something, Marco. I have to sit this one out. Well, obviously, that movie's going to be great. The Family Plan tomorrow. Everybody check it out. Add it to your weekend plans with the family. Going to be great. That's on Apple TV Plus. Let's talk a little bit about the other film, and you mentioned it that you already have filmed it here. Arthur the King, that's coming out sometime next year, correct?
That's coming out in March in cinemas. It's a totally different movie. This time, Mark plays an adventure racer, and these are these crazy people who do kind of like 3 Ironman races every day. They sort of compete just on guts alone, running across jungles and things like that. Mark plays a sort of one of the top level adventure racers who's never won the big race, and he's getting towards his last chance. And we follow him and his team, including Simu Liu and some other great actors. And he meets a dog halfway through this race. He meets a dog that kind of changes his life. And I don't know if you're a dog person, I certainly am. And these animals can teach you stuff about ourselves that other humans can't.
Oh, I mean, you've got all the combinations, as you know, of a solid film right there. You've got a great story, a true story. You got the race, you got the endurance, that component. You got the dog. I mean, it's going to be a true winner right there. I mean, I feel like you got two back-to-back big ones right here. What else is happening in life? I mean, obviously you've got a family, and you've got to do all that. What else are you working on, Simon?
Well, I'm trying to. I mean, I've just, as you say, I've just done 2 back-to-back movies, and I'm worn out. I'm very, very happy, but I'm tired. So I'm going to take a month off. I'm going to do the holidays. I've got a family. I'm going to be spending the holidays with my family, and I'm just so looking forward to kicking back and forgetting about work, forgetting about everything except my family.
I love it. I mean, yeah, it's got to be nice to finally take a break. And do you have something lined up as the next project, or are you going to take your time off and then get back to looking at scripts and deciding what's next?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got a couple of ideas, but it's the people you work with. That's the thing. So I've been very lucky working with Mark twice in a row. So I just want to keep working with those great people.
We here in Montana, I don't know if you're familiar with Montana, but the show Yellowstone, filmed in Montana, based in Montana, very popular location. I would like to pitch our state as a location for a project. So I don't know if the visuals of the state will get your mind going, but whatever it is, I think you need to set a project in Montana. But we want you to come to Montana and direct a Simon Cellan Jones project based in Montana.
I would love to. I've never been to Montana, which is a great loss. I have seen Yellowstone, which of course is just huge. And I just look forward to visiting your fantastic state. And I would love to work there for sure.
Yeah, we would love to have you. As a guy that knows entertainment, you've been in this business a long time. What are some other recommendations of things we should watch? Obviously, we know your projects, and we're going to check out The Family Plan and Arthur the King. But what are some things you and your family are watching? What are you streaming these days? And in your time off, what are you guys going to binge?
Well, this is a great time for movies. Everyone brings out movies for the end of the year. I saw Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Scorsese film, which is 3 hours and 20 minutes long, and I didn't even blink. It's just one of those movies that passes like that. I also saw a fantastic movie called Maestro, starring Bradley Cooper and Kelly Mulligan. 2 other incredible performances of a movie about Lenny Bernstein. So, there's a fantastic selection for you guys to watch by yourselves or with your families.
I love Carey Mulligan, by the way. I feel like she is a national treasure. I mean, she's your national treasure, not ours, I guess, but she has been fantastic for so many years. I love her, by the way. I want to know how a guy like you picks projects.
It's obviously the script comes first. You read that and you need to respond to the material. But I think, the people you work with is if you're working intensely on a project, it's got to be worth it. And the only way to make it worth it is to work with people you love and admire. And, that's one of the reasons why I love working with Mark, because he just brings everything to the table.
But do you see something? I mean, obviously you can turn some, if you see something that could be a huge success, do you see like a best-selling book that comes out and do you go, oh my gosh, if I could get the rights to that and if I could turn that book into the movie, this could be the next big thing. I mean, do you see things like that in pop culture and go, oh my gosh, if I can get that story somehow and turn that into my project? I mean, is it sometimes like that, or do you wait till a script comes to you?
Well, no, that's the thing you want to do. But of course, there are so many smart people out there that you sort of see a project and you go, oh my God, that's exciting. You try and inquire about it and someone's already bought the rights. So, it's hard to find your way, but in the end, good material is the thing you fight for.
Will you stick to just film? Do you do TV? Do you do stage? Is film direction specifically your niche, or do you direct anything?
Well, I've absolutely came up in TV, and I owe a great deal to TV, and I'm sure I'll work in that medium again. But I've got to tell you, having just worked on 2 reasonably large Hollywood movies, it's so fun. You have so many resources. You work with top-level people. You work with very ambitious people. Apple, they're great. They're very passionate. They're very movie-oriented. And, it's rarefied air up here, and it's really cool. So I'll do anything, but the movies is where I love.
And will we ever see you venturing out of direct? Will we get you on camera? Will we get you narrating? Will we get to see more of you and hear more of you and not just have you behind the camera?
Well, yeah, I got to tell you, I hope I'm a good director. I'm not a good actor, So I'm not gonna bring that on you to put me on the screen too much. But every now and then I could do a little cameo role as long as I'm wearing on makeup.
Okay, I think you could do, I mean, at least, and I don't know size-wise, but I think you could be a decent stand-in for Jason Statham.
Well, I get that a bit. He's much more talented than me, and I definitely would lose to him in a fight, but he's a pretty cool guy.
Well, hey, we all are going to check out The Family Plan. A great movie. It's going to be a fun ride for everybody. Apple TV Plus tomorrow. Arthur the King is coming out next year, March 2024. We're going to watch for that. Both great Mark Wahlberg films. It's been such a pleasure. I love you. I love the films. Simon Cellan Jones, thank you so much for taking the time, sir, and happy holidays to you and the entire fam. Enjoy your break.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and thank you, and have a great holiday yourself.